Defense was definitely the order of the day here in the first half, as East Tennessee State leading UT Chattanooga by 4 in this Southern Conference battle. Mike Hogwood rejoining you along with Tom Apke now. And Tom, I thought both teams in the first half had opportunities to make big runs and get a lead, but defense was too strong.
Defense and preparation, each team knowing what the other likes to do and defending it effectively. Jason Rogan able to hit early from the outside for the Chattanooga Mocs, and that enabled them to set up their defense, and Ray Trowell got inside the East Tennessee State zone a couple of times. Tim Smith, though, really the answer. Got out on the break. You saw how quick he is when he's able to get in the open court. There he has a steal, just as quick going back defensively, and watch him elude people as he goes to the basket.
And he led all scorers with 10 in the first half.
And Zaki Wadud can hit from outside, as he did that time.
Let's take a look now at our Food Lion first half stats. What jumps out at me immediately is points in the paint, heavily in favor of East Tennessee State, but they're not shooting the three well, and that's what maybe has made this game so close.
And they have also scored well in points off turnovers. Chattanooga got to take better care of the basketball in the second half.
Well, the Mocs are down 4. We are about ready to get the second half underway. We'll do that in just a moment. This is a big rival game in Tennessee, and we're ready for half number 2. Back in Johnson City, Tennessee, ready to go with the second half here between the Bucks and the Mocs. Tim Smith, 10 points in the first half. Ben Rhoda had 7 for East Tennessee State. Jason Rogan leads Chattanooga scores. He had 7 first half points. There's Jason, the senior rather, from Portland, Tennessee. As you look at the leading scorers in the game, Chattanooga will have the first possession here of the second half.
Mike, it's been interesting. The leading scorers are those perimeter players. Both teams really doing a concerted effort to take away the inside play of the big guys. Done a good job of that so far.
And Casey Long, the freshman, starts the second half at point guard. He's number 22. Ray Trowell went most of the way in the first half for Chattanooga. Ashley Champion, just 2 points in this game. Catalinas has it knocked away. And East Tennessee digging in, and a man-to-man. Long works against Smith, and Smith gets the better end of it that time.
Just forced him into the mishandle.
What a great pass to Gerald Fields.
Gerald Fields in traffic, unable to finish it, had the shot blocked. But you're right, Tim Smith with the great dish, and there you see Fields was in traffic, couldn't finish it.
Anthony. James Anthony had 3 points in the first half. Chattanooga, no surprise with that zone. Huh?
Notice that it does force East Tennessee State to organize and set up. Slows the pace down a little bit.
I think that's what Jeff Lebo wants. Smith can't hit the 3, but the offensive rebound by Wadud. Boy, great ball movement. Wadud to Fields. Rhoda finishes.
Great passing on the inside against the Chattanooga zone. You can get easy ones if you move the ball in there.
Champion, it just has not been his night. He is now 1 for 4. Anthony open for 3.
Another Wadud great pass. Picked up that carom, threw it over for the 3. Nice job of moving the ball by the Bucks.
Chattanooga scoring, or rather East Tennessee State scoring the first 5 points of the second half, and Chattanooga calls a quick timeout. 18:30 to go in the game. Largest lead of the game by the Bucks over the Mocs. And play underway here. Chattanooga in need of a bucket after that timeout. Rogan. Boy, Rogan, another player who's cold, just 2 for 9, but Catalinas with his second bucket, and that's a huge one.
That's a huge one. It breaks the ice, and second chance opportunities, a way to beat the zone.
Catalinas with the foul down at the other end. That's going to be his 3rd. And Chattanooga can ill afford to have him in foul trouble. Ray Trowell returns to the Mocs lineup for the freshman, Casey Long.
Hoping Trowell will have a settling effect again for the Mocs.
Chattanooga needs now some offense. Their big guns have been silent. Nice pass to Wadood. Good ball movement around that zone. Zaki Wadood finishes.
And they depend on taking it side to side, so Wadood able to set his man up, pin him, catch it, and lay the easy one up.
Rogan. After hitting a couple early, Rogan now 2 for 10. Smith off balance. What a great shot.
Little shake and bake, and then the step back off the glass.
Good pass to Catalinas. Well, Catalinas has all the points here in the second half. Boy, Tim Smith is a magician at times on the court.
Watch the shake and bake, then the step back and the kiss off the glass. Great little move.
And he's got 12 points in the game now. Fields. Senior with the drive.
How can a guy that big knife through 3 players?
Well, you look at his upper body. He has all kinds of strength. Ashley Champion, a turnover, and it has just not been his night.
He continues to struggle. Tried the spin move, unable to do that, and stepped on the baseline. Look at Fields. How can a guy that size knife in between that many Mocs? Not very good defense by Chattanooga.
Wadood. Boy, that would have been a killer. But Chattanooga with a huge rebound. Here is Champion. Pugh. Nice job by Alfonso Pugh of just staying with it.
Wadood with a good defensive play, but you're right, Pugh stayed with it, got a second chance, knocked it down. Another big bucket for Chattanooga.
Anthony misfires, and Rogan's got the rebound. Chattanooga down 9 with the ball. Nice pass ahead to Champion. Maybe that's what Ashley Champion needed to get going.
Chattanooga at their best when they can run. Nice throw ahead, and Champion running the floor gets the easy one.
Still staying with that zone. Fields. See his strength with that turnaround. And I think Rhoda's going to get credit with that bucket. Ben Rhoda has a very quiet 11 points. Smith is running. Everybody thought he was going to dish it. He said, I'm going to the hole.
Did not need the step back. Just threw up the floater that time for 2.
Oh, he's got great touch. That is a tough shot to make, that running shot.
Really a tough shot on the move to be able to go ahead and throw it up there softly and score.
Champion, the turnaround over Fields. It will belong to East Tennessee State. Well, they're on their feet here at the Memorial Center. The homestanding Bucks lead the Mocs 43-32. Lead of the game for East Tennessee State at 11, 43-32. And one of the big stories for Chattanooga has been their big gun, Ashley Champion. He leads the team in scoring. He's number 2 in the Southern Conference, 18.5 points a game, but so far just 2 for 7. And if Chattanooga is to make a run back in this, you get the feeling that Ashley Champion is going to have to find his offensive game.
And I thought maybe that breakaway layup was what he needed to get on a roll, but then he missed a fairly simple one right after that. So you're right, he's got to step it up. Chattanooga can't win without his help.
Matthews back into the Chattanooga lineup. again, the attacking of that zone, and East Tennessee State's offense has been very, very impressive.
Chattanooga went to a little different look out of the zone and tried to trap. Again, great preparation. East Tennessee State read it and handled it well. Not a reset on that inbounds play, Mike. Shot clock winding down.
Under 5. I'm not sure East Tennessee State knows it. They don't. Well, you caught it. They were not aware of it at all.
Had not been a change of possession, and teams, when they get it out of bounds like that, sometimes forget there's no new shot clock. East Tennessee State caught napping that time.
9th turnover for East Tennessee State. Here's Trout. Good penetration. The senior hits it. Oh, a big bucket by Ray Trout, the senior from Louisville, Kentucky. He's now got 7.
Trout came off the high pick and roll and got around Wadood, who was supposed to double team that and keep him out on the floor. And once Trout got past that double team, no one left to pick him up. Nice move against the double team for the score.
Ray Trout, 3rd in the Southern Conference in assists. Completes the 3-point play, and that was big for Chattanooga. Trout, by the way, had a great finish in a game against Western Carolina. Coming off the bench, he scored the final couple of points, and that was a big win for Chattanooga. And now here comes some pressure, full court by the Mocs. Foul's going to be on Matthews. Tom, you get the feeling right now that this is an important time of the game for Chattanooga, that they really can't let this lead extend much into double digits. And
I think that's why Jeff Lebo of Chattanooga has changed his defenses, went with a full court press. Here's that 1-3-1 with some trapping, just a little different look, trying to shake things up.
Trying to get some stops. They get one that time. Champion, a big rebound. And an opportunity here for Chattanooga.
2 really quick point guards going at it right there. Trowell and Smith. What a matchup.
Boy, you saw the quickness of Trowell. Just ran around 2 players and then drew the foul.
Trowell, like Smith, is a lefty, but faked everybody out by going with the right-handed drive that time and really surprised people, got by him.
Foul's on Wadood. That's his 3rd. And Ray Trowell steps back up to the free throw line. He's a good free throw shooter. 82% on the season.
Making free throws is a great way to catch your breath and come back. And suddenly, by going to the free throw line off that nice drive, Chattanooga has that lead down to 7. Wadood gets a rest.
With those 3 personal fouls. You may remember he picked up his 2nd just before halftime. So Trowell now makes this a 6-point game. East Tennessee State led a moment ago by 11. Here's Smith. Rhoda. Ben Rhoda now with 13 points.
Tim Smith put him in a little bit of an awkward position. Rhoda not really ready for that pass, but able to quickly shoot it and get it to drop.
Trowell, boy, has he been impressive. Not able to hit there, though. Fields down with the rebound. Smith flying. Tim Smith created that. Ben Rhoda finished. But you saw again the speed of Smith.
And Brad Knuckles, good defense. The big guy stayed at home and didn't allow Trowell to get the easy one on that drive, and that triggered the Tim Smith fast break.
And just like that, the lead's back up to 10, and Jeff Lebo is really unhappy over on the Chattanooga sideline. Matthews for 3. Missed everything. Champion fell down, and the officials say that Fields pushed it. 2nd foul on Gerald Fields.
There's the great outlet pass, and watch Smith survey the floor, see what's there. Notice that the defense is going to try to stop his drive. Kicks it over to Rhoda for the easy one.
Tom, I know in your coaching career you had some point guards that had that jet-like speed. It really does mean so much on the break. when he flat out can outrun everybody on the floor.
And puts tremendous pressure on the defense. You just can't afford to not get back. You know he's going to kill you if you don't.
Pugh on the drive. Nice drive, Alfonso Pugh. And the lead is back to 8.
Pugh, a key contributor, averages almost 11 a game for Chattanooga, even though he's not a starter. You saw why. He's a tremendous athlete around the basket.
Oh, great move by Gerald Fields. He was behind the backboard when he put that shot up.
And he's asserting himself with Wadud on the bench. Gerald Fields, the other senior, says, you guys can ride my back.
We mentioned this was senior night, and sometimes that can go the other way on a team when there's so much emotion. Good pass to Catalinas.
Chris Brown, nice drive, and when the defense picked him up, kicked it over to Catalinas for the easy one.
There's a timeout on the floor. 11:27 to go here in this game. The East Tennessee State lead has been 11. It is now 8 over UT Chattanooga. Well, the story has been Tim Smith in this game. He's not the leading scorer for East Tennessee State, but he has had a solid game on both ends, and his speed has really made a difference.
But he is clever as well as fast. There's his numbers on the season, but he creates opportunities for his teammates on the break, so he hustles it down, forces teams to pick him up, and then finds open men, and they get the easy ones.
4 assists on the game for Smith. Double team. And the Chattanooga foul is going to be on Trowell. That'll be his first.
Chattanooga scrambled out of that zone and double teamed Ben Rhoda. Got a little close. You cannot bump him, and that's what they did out of that double team.
Turnover to the Mocs. Good pass ahead to Rogan. And East Tennessee State, a great job of getting back on defense. Ball will belong to East Tennessee State, out off the hand of Ray Trowell. As you look at Murray Bartow.
Mike, last 2 possessions, great examples of the intensity that a rivalry game like this one creates. Both teams really getting after it.
East Tennessee State undefeated in the Southern Conference. Just a couple more games to play for the Bucks before they head to the tournament as the #1 seed from the North. And Murray Bartow has to be proud of what his team has done this year. They clinched the title actually with a win over Chattanooga, that 82-80 game.
Second straight 20-win season.
And they're in the top 5 in both of the mid-major polls. Rhoda. Ben Rhoda now with 17 points to lead East Tennessee State, and answering at the other end, Chattanooga.
Rhoda with the good spin move, and Ray Trowell with the great bounce pass. All Ashley Champion had to do was catch it and lay it in. That's how both teams want to play, getting up and down the floor.
How about Fields? Fields, a 36% three-point shooter, hits his first attempt tonight.
All of the Bucks can shoot it from the perimeter.
And a block. This is a team that leads the nation in steals and is among the leaders in blocks.
Gerald Fields knocks down the outside jump shot. And then how about little defense on the inside, has the shot block rejection under the basket.
He's playing a great game in his final night here on this floor.
And I used to worry as a coach, Mike, sometimes that extra added emotion senior night creates distracts seniors. Has not had that kind of effect on Gerald Fields tonight.
Bucket here would give the Bucks their largest lead of the game. It'll still belong to East Tennessee State. Now, Chattanooga is an explosive team. They are the #1 scoring team in the Southern Conference, averaging over 82 points a game. I don't think we're going to get close to that tonight, but they can score a lot of points in a hurry.
Need to start working on that, Mike. Down 11 with just under 10 minutes to go.
Knuckles for 3. Well, Knuckles isn't afraid to take that shot.
No, and you saw Wadood in there, knows that when outside shots miss, they generally rebound long. He hustled over and got to that offside spot on the rebound and almost had a stick back, forced Chattanooga to tip it out of bounds.
Knuckles, who did not score in the last game, is 0 for 3, all three-pointers in this one. Here's Wadood. And I think the foul's going to be on Trowell for reaching in. It'll be the second on Trowell.
A little frustrating for Jeff Lebo there. Mindaugas Catalinas had great position, really went up and challenged Wadood's shot effectively. Trowell reached in and kind of bailed that out. It would have been a good defensive play by Catalinas.
And Zaki Wadood, a 70% free throw shooter, having a pretty good game here with 8 points. You saw Catalinas has 3 fouls. They were fortunate that last foul wasn't on him because they need him in the lineup. Pugh on the way to the bucket. I believe he'll go to the line for 2.
Knuckles tried to establish position, but that shows you Alfonso Pugh is quick and very athletic, but he also was able to change direction enough to not allow Knuckles to have position to draw that charge. So Pugh continues to be a real key for the Mocs as they try to come back.
You know, and in this final week of the season, if Alfonso Pugh starts regaining the form that he had before he got hurt, this is going to be a Chattanooga team you don't want to play in the Southern Conference tournament.
Official Mike Wood doing a good job of allowing a little slowdown in play right now, so Pugh, who kind of banged that leg, can try to walk it off a little bit.
Also, Catalinas comes out of the game to the attention of the trainer over behind the Chattanooga bench. He went and sat down on the second row.
There's been a little bit of collision on the inside once or twice tonight.
Big free throws by Alfonso Pugh, and there you see Mindaugas Catalinas getting tended to. We're at the Memorial Center in Johnson City, Tennessee. It's Southern Conference basketball. Chattanooga, East Tennessee State. These are the top 2 teams in the Northern Division. I'm Mike Hogwood along with Tom Apke. Glad you're with us tonight. 10-point game, now making 12 as senior Gerald Fields starting to warm up here with 9 second-half points.
Great pass to Fields from Wadood on the baseline. That's what they like to do against the zone. You can get easy ones against the zone.
Fields has 12 in the game. Chattanooga turnover, and watch out. You're not going to catch it.
Yeah, I was going to say, catch me if you can. I don't think so.
No way. Tim Smith now with 16 points. And this, the largest East Tennessee State lead at 14. And I think this is a big possession for Chattanooga. Under 8 minutes to play. And down 14. Rogan, he's been silent. Oh my, Champion had the follow. It's kind of been that kind of night.
Even the point-blank stickbacks won't go for him tonight.
Smith. And Tim Smith just kind of flies in through the lane. Foul, and he'll go to the line for 2. Fouls on Trowell, yes, his 3rd.
Kind of shaking his head saying, where did that guy go? I had him a second ago.
Missed the free throw, did Smith. You see the numbers on Tim Smith. Has hit his average. There is Jeff Lebo, and done a good job in his second season. Got his dad along as an assistant coach. We saw him just a moment ago sitting alongside him.
And that's Dave Lebo, longtime high school coach Great addition to their staff. There he is.
Well, there's Dad, father, and son now going to try to figure out what to do to get Chattanooga back in this game. They're down 15. East Tennessee State trying to run the table. They're up 15, and Jeff Lebo trying to get his Mocs back in it. Hey, some great basketball coming your way Sunday. It's an ACC Sunday Night Hoops doubleheader. We'll take you to Tobacco Road. A great rival game between North Carolina and NC State, and then Duke and Florida State. Tom, do you realize the last two times Duke has gone down to Tallahassee that they have lost?
And Florida State much better this year. Much tougher to beat down there. It'll be a real challenge.
Yeah, we were talking about father-son combos a moment ago. There's Murray Bartow and his dad, of course. Great coach at UCLA, Memphis, and I knew him at UAB. I was actually the backup radio announcer in the 80s when Murray was a player. I backed up Gary Sanders, a longtime voice of the Blazers. Murray was a player on the team. Gene Bartow was a coach. And those were some fun times. Gene now with the NBA Memphis Grizz and helps Jerry West out in the front office there some. Catalinas has it blocked by Fields. Smith. Oh! That got the crowd up. Zaki Wadood from Tim Smith. I told you Tim Smith was not only fast, but clever in the way he sets his teammates up. How about that one? That really turned the crowd on here. And again, a great crowd out to watch these Bucks, who are having a fantastic season. You talked about critical times. There's the move inside and the block from the backside by Gerald Fields, and then the alley and the oop. And one-handed, no less, huh? Wow. And you talked about critical times for Chattanooga. We've reached another one. Can't afford many more dry spells down the floor by Chattanooga. This one's already starting to get away. Largest lead of the game now at 17. Yeah, I think Tim Smith, Zaki Wadood, both are going to get some votes for Player of the Year. That's going to be a tough call in this conference because you got Ashley Champion, you got Nesbitt, the guard at Georgia Southern, Mike Benton at College of Charleston. A lot of great guys having super seasons. Kevin Martin, the leading scorer at Western Carolina, one of the top scorers in the country. That foul's going to be on Rhoda. It'll be his first. Murray Bartow doesn't like it. That little smile, more of a sarcastic smile, not a genuine grin. And it sends Rogan to the line. Jason Rogan's first points here in the second half. And they have really missed his offense. And if he can capitalize with a second free throw here, it enables Chattanooga to try to set their press and maybe get a little something going with their defense. Anthony returns to the East Tennessee State lineup. Good move by Murray Bartow. One more ball handler to go against the anticipated full court pressure. Fields gets the roll, and the senior is going to go out in style here. He really wanted to pass that one over to Wadood. Nobody picked him up. He went all the way. Well, you saw that Davidson Appalachian State score. Game a little closer than this one. Catalinas, good ball fake. He's fouled. Ben Rhoda came down. Great pump fake by Catalinas, and Ben Rhoda mistimed and went for the fake and came down and did foul. And Catalinas gets to the free throw line after that great move on the inside. Well, there's part of a season high crowd tonight. 8,667 here. What a great crowd. The previous high for this season was just over 7,000, and there you see it. Over 8,600 here tonight in support of this first place East Tennessee State team. Mike, we ought to explain, this is the inside football stadium, indoor football stadium. Not any longer. Basketball here too. There's no longer football here either. It counts. Smith gets the bucket. And the foul's going to be on Casey Long.
That's the problem when you're Chattanooga trying to full court press to play catch up. You give Tim Smith the ability to take it coast to coast like that, and his speed and ability to elude defenders. Great example of that there.
So Smith now with 19 points. Rhoda has 17. And gives Smith 20. 4 players in double figures for East Tennessee State now.
All East Tennessee State was trying to do with that press was slow things up a little bit.
Richardson just into the game, can't get it to go, and it's been that kind of a night. Chattanooga shooting just 36%. And from behind the arc, they're just 4 for 13.
Wadood picks up that personal. Catalinas had good inside position and started to go up and try to get a stick back, and all of a sudden was jumping the opposite way, and that's 4 personals on Zaki. And Murray Arnold has chosen to talk to him, has not taken him out yet, and now does.
And Knuckles will come in to replace him as Catalinas hits the free throw. There's Zaki Wadood. And I'm sure if this score continues to hold up, he'll come out and get to take a curtain call, as the 2 seniors have played strong roles in this game, both of them in double figures. Gerald Fields with 14, Zaki Wadood with 10 points and 9 rebounds. He's 1 rebound away from another double-double. He's got 25 in his career.
Nice job by Anthony there. We said he went back in to have another ball handler against the press. You saw he did a nice job that time.
Here's Fields. Boy, has he played great here in the second half. Smith. When it's your night, it's your night. And tonight, Tim Smith, it's his night.
He tried to feed it to the big guys inside, and they fumbled it. He finally said, all right, I'll shoot it.
Champion. It hasn't been his night. Ashley Champion now 3 for 10 from the field. Trowell, a good job catching up with that.
And then avoiding Gerald Fields, who went after the shot block. Trowell went up and under for the reverse layup.
What a 2-game stretch now for Tim Smith, who had 26 points, his career high against Fresno State, and now has 23 in this game. And Fields will go to the line. Gerald Fields, one of his best offensive productions of the year with 14 points. He had 18 the last time these 2 teams played. Catalinas has been a monster on the boards. He's got 13 rebounds tonight. Richardson with a 3. And it's a 15-point game. 4:24 to go. Still enough time if you hit the threes and make some stops to get back in it. That's what the 3 gives you.
That's what the 3 gives you, and that's what saving those timeouts gives you. Jeff Lebo has done a nice job of kind of keeping those in his hip pocket so that he can use that. And there's the kickover and the nice outside jumper by Chattanooga and the quick timeout so they can set their full court press.
Yeah, and Brian Richardson has the longest tenure of anybody on the Chattanooga team. He's been with them 4 years. Took a redshirt year, so he's just a junior. And at 48%, he is the leading 3-point shooter in the Southern Conference. And that was his first 3. And they'll need some more if they hope to get back in this game.
He was able to get an open look because of the fast break situation, and they need to be able to get stops, does Chattanooga, and get open looks for their players on the break.
Here comes the pressure by the Mocs. Anthony breaks it. Good pass to Fields. And Gerald Fields will go back to the free throw line.
Anthony with the nice attack with the ball. forced the defense to come over and pick him up and then pitched it over to Fields. Gerald Fields tried the finesse move that time. Mike might have been better off powering it up, but he goes to the line.
Mindaugas Catalinas has just picked up his 4th foul. But at this stage of the game, with the score being what it is, he has to stay and play. Fields, 2 big free throws.
East Tennessee again with the soft press, just trying to force Chattanooga to have to use time to get it across midcourt.
Trowell, a tough 3 off balance. And Jeff Lebo gets another quick timeout.
High post pick and roll situation that time. Trowell drives off of that screen at the top. Nobody picks him up, and he gets the open look there for the 3. And another quick Chattanooga timeout.
Now this lead has been 20. It's 14. And 4 minutes, 5 seconds is a lot of time.
Obviously, the Buccaneers are going to have to convert from the free throw line. Last time, Gerald Fields made 1 of 2. Got to do a better job of cashing in on those opportunities, because Chattanooga will foul to try to stop the clock. The clock is Chattanooga's enemy right now. East Tennessee State has to execute their press offense and make free throws down the stretch to keep this lead in double figures. And that's a pretty good guy to get it into.
I heard your conversation with Murray Bartow at halftime, and he says his point guard sometimes will turn it over. But you like that speed, and an intentional foul has been called. It's going to be on Catalinas, and that's going to be his 5th. So Mindaugas Catalinas, the 6'9" junior from Lithuania, has just fouled out.
And I'm not sure which player got the worst of that collision. Fields went down first. Catalinas was the one called for the intentional foul. Both ailing.
Well, Catalinas with a double-double tonight. 14 points, 13 rebounds. A solid effort, and he continues his strong play for Chattanooga.
He's a junior, first-year player out of junior college for them, and as we said earlier, it took him a little while to adjust to Division I basketball, but he is getting better. He'll be a force in the Southern Conference tournament.
Fields goes back to the line. Matter of fact, we'll remind you that Southern Conference tournament next week, if you're going to be in the Charleston, South Carolina area, there's going to be a lot of great basketball, and it all starts on Wednesday. Both of these teams favored to make it to semifinal Friday, the championship on Saturday, and of course at stake is an automatic bid to the NCAA tournament. Last year that went to East Tennessee State, and they did well for the Southern Conference, taking Wake Forest to the wire in the NCAA tournament. Under 4 minutes to go, East Tennessee State leads Chattanooga 73-58. Here along with Tom Apke as we take a look at our game summary. Chattanooga trailing East Tennessee State 73-58. And the story very simply has been Tim Smith and the defense that they have done on Chattanooga's actually champion.
Chattanooga has done a better job of getting points in the paint, 22, but that doesn't compare to the 36 that East Tennessee State has gotten, and that extra 14 points pretty much tells us why the Bucks are in the lead.
And Tim Smith, sophomore from Newport News, Virginia, had a great game. Wadood is back in with those 4 fouls. So the 2 seniors, Fields and Wadood, on the floor now for East Tennessee State. Knuckles, a great rebound.
Chattanooga man-to-man defense. First time they've been in man for a while and do not block out. So Knuckles with the great rebound gives the Bucks another chance.
Tom, let's talk now as we approach the final 3 minutes of this game. East Tennessee State. What a year they've had. They won the bracket buster game against Fresno State. If they don't win the Southern Conference tournament, can they get in the NCAA?
They've established a pretty good portfolio, but their RPI somewhere in the 70s, I believe, makes it a little bit difficult. Southern Conference has never gotten an at-large team into the NCAA tournament, so Certainly the Bucks, the Bucks can't depend on that. They better go down to Charleston with the intent that they need to win the tournament to go to the big dance.
Well, certainly they have had a fantastic season, undefeated in league play. And I think Chattanooga is going to be a tough test for anybody next week in Charleston.
Absolutely. A good team and very explosive, and great effort there by Fields. The missed free throws, he gets it back.
And how about Knuckles with the follow?
Great effort on the offensive glass by several players for Chattanooga. Knuckles with the final result there.
Trowell has come on strong. Richardson, boy, when Brian Richardson starts hitting some threes, he can make a difference in this team. Trowell with 15 points tonight.
He can shoot those threes. Showed you why that time.
And Smith has got that little jump stop in the lane down to perfection. Now with 25 points, one away from his season high. Pugh for three. Well, Chattanooga has hit their last 2 3-point attempts, but it might be a little late. 13-point game right now, 2:27 to go.
Not impossible, but certainly pressing East Tennessee State at the end of a game, a difficult task at best. They've shown the ability to not only crack the press, but score off of it. So you figure UT Chattanooga's last gasp is to try to full court press, get some steals. Not easy to do against the Bucks.
How about your old team? That's a big rivalry, isn't it? App State and Davidson, a 1-point game in the second half.
And Appalachian coming off a really poor performance Saturday against these Chattanooga Mocs, have bounced back in that rivalry game, appear to be playing very, very well. A little bit of time yet to go in the second half over in Boone.
Yeah, Boone just a short drive away on a windy road up the mountain.
Couple different windy roads to get there. Have made that drive a few times, but glad to see the Mountaineers playing well tonight.
Well, you see the timeout story. Chattanooga out of timeouts. 2:27 to go, and the Mocs in danger of falling to 9-6 in league play. Tim Smith with 11 field goals in this game. That's a career high for him. As you look at Jeff Lebo, who brought the #1 scoring team in the Southern Conference here to Johnson City. And East Tennessee State's defense and the play of that guy, number 5, Tim Smith. Slowed him down a little bit.
There you see how hard he is to full court press. Clever with the ball and explosive. Just hard to really contain him or trap him.
Murray Bartow now telling Smith to take some time off the clock. And Trowell reaches in and fouls him.
Tim Smith with the little change of direction. Ray Trowell thought he had him measured and was going to go for the steal, and Tim Smith changed direction on him. Trowell just bumped into him and fouled him.
This point of the game, you're East Tennessee State. You want to take a lot of time off the clock in every possession.
And you need to make free throws so that Chattanooga does not get advantages out of fouling. Smith able to knock that first one in.
And that's a big one. That's his 26th point of the game. That is his season high. And is a career high as well, we are told. So trying to set a new career high, and he does. 27 points for Tim Smith. What an answer to the game at Fresno State, where he had 26.
Pretty good back-to-back performances. 53 points in 2 games.
Rogan hits the 3. You know, if you're a coach, you really love it when you got a player who's getting hot right before tournament time.
Absolutely, and Tim Smith in that category, and he does so many things for his team. Murray Bartow lets him make the decisions.
Anthony wide open. Went out off Alfonso Pugh. Good battle for the rebound. And Murray Bartow, I think, wants to call a full timeout. He's trying to set up a exit so that his two seniors can get a standing ovation. And I know that that's one of the things that as a coach you worry about too, when the game's maybe in hand a little bit. When do you take them out, get the standing ovation, that kind of thing? And I know that he wants those guys to get some love from this crowd here tonight.
He does, and it's a tribute that you'd like your seniors to have. But a minute and a half to go. Mike, way too early to be thinking that way. It's down to a 12-point lead, and a couple more trays by Chattanooga makes this really uncomfortable. So I don't think he's ready to make that move yet by taking his seniors out, but it is something that he will try to do if he can.
Yeah, 12-point game, a minute 35 left. It's not impossible for Chattanooga. But if you are Murray Bartow, what are you telling those guys in the huddle right now?
Make sure you take care of the basketball. This is the offense that we're going to run to try to keep them spread out so they can't double team us. Take the ball aggressively to the basket when you have the opportunity. And how about knock down those free throws when you get the chance?
Now you Jeff Lebo, and this is a Chattanooga team that was down 20, but they have hit their last 5 three-point shots.
And you keep doing this so that this is practice for another game to come. You want your players to have as many chances under live ammunition to practice how you play catch-up at the end of the game. And even if this one might be a little far out of hand, he's practicing for the next time.
I want to tell you about our player of the game. The ninth player of the game is Tim Smith. And as a foul off the balls, as a presenting sponsor of today's telecast, BB&T will donate $500 on behalf of Tim Smith to the General Scholarship Fund of the Southern Conference. At the end of the year, the fund will be distributed among the members of the conference. A career high 27 points. And Fields not able to hit the free throw as Matthews comes back into the game for Jason Rogan.
Another three-point shooter, Mike Matthews. Jeff Lebo trying to get as many outside shooters in the game as he can.
Fields now with 17 points. Minute and a half to go. Oh, what defense by the senior. Gerald Fields just took the ball away and then took it to the basket.
And now Murray Arnold can start thinking about close to a minute to go. Maybe can get the seniors out.
Pugh with the three.
Yeah, he says not
I'm
so
sure
fast.
you meant Murray Bartow.
Correct. Yeah. Sorry about that.
He was a great coach, Murray Arnold.
In this league for UT Chattanooga.
Absolutely. A minute. Smith carries it. Well, Gerald Fields, the senior, will sure remember his final night. To watch him here.
That's the trap out of the full court press, and he just lumbers on in, uses the left hand for the layup. Pretty good night for Gerald Fields.
20 points, 6 rebounds. By the way, Wadu does have that double-double. 10 rebounds, 10 points. Rhoda on the drive. He's had a great game. He's got 19. Fields. Smith to Wadu. Brown and Murray Bartow now wants to get his two seniors out of the game. Listen to the applause for them.
Haven't been a lot of people leave early either, giving even more of a enthusiastic reception to those two seniors as they
here they come. Gerald Fields, Zaki Wadud playing their final game here in the Memorial Center. I thought Murray Bartow orchestrated that pretty good.
Did, and hadn't left enough time to be able to do that.
Final seconds here, and East Tennessee State's going to go to 15-0 in the Southern Conference. 12-0 here at home. What a year. And it will also be their 16th straight win. 84-72 the final. 4 players in double figures. Tim Smith with 27. And the senior Gerald Fields with 20. Zaki Wadu to double-double, 10 points and 10 rebounds. That'll do it for tonight. For Tom Apke, I'm Mike Hogwood. Thanks for watching Southern Conference Basketball. Final score again, East Tennessee State 84, UT Chattanooga 72. We'll say so long from Johnson City, Tennessee.